Hi everyone, welcome back to the part 3. So in this part we will be creating the inline insertion. So if we click on the edit button, it should show submit and cancel button. Let me just show you. I just hide that with display none. You can see we have the submit button. So for that we have to write custom jQuery. If we click on the edit button, it should show save and cancel button. So let me do that. Here we will be creating a function. And let me just copy the below function instead of writing the whole function here, and let me delete inside that. Now let me just change this to edit and check this out if it is working or not. Let's go to the browser, inspect, and you can see it is working. So here we will be writing our code. Now let me get the table, and with the find function we will be finding the save button and the cancel button, and then we will hide that button using hide function. Let me copy this again. This time we will get the edit button, so let me just write the edit class and show that button. Now after that we need this element and hide that siblings, and the siblings will be save and cancel, and then we have to show that button. After that we need this element and the closest table data siblings, and with each siblings we will be calling a function. Inside that function we need variable input and assign that to this element find input. Now using if statement we have to check the length of the input. So if the length is true, then execute this code. Input value. Now after that, if the length is not true, then execute this code. This dot attribute content editable, and that will be true. Alright, so here we are hiding the save and cancel button and show the edit button. If we click on the edit button, it will add to the each table data the content editable attribute, and with that attribute we can edit each row. So let me just refresh this, and if we click edit, you can see we are showing buttons and we are able to insert the data in each cell. Now we have to add the functionality for the cancel button because it is not working right now. So let's do that. Let me copy this function, let's paste here, and let's change this to the cancel. Let me remove the inside code and leave the first line. Now we need this element and hide the siblings, which is save and cancel button, and show the edit button. Now after that we need this element, and with the closest function we will be getting the table data and their siblings. With each loop we will be calling a function. So in this time we will be making the content editable false. So if we click on the cancel button, then we should not be able to edit that cell. So let me make that, and I'm gonna refresh the page. So if we add some extra data in the cell and we click on the cancel, so it will automatically remove from that cell. So our function is pretty much ready. Now we have to check that in the browser. So let me go to the browser and let me edit cancel. You can see the cancel button is working perfectly. Let me add some data and click cancel. The data is removed from the cells. The next thing, we have to add the insertion feature. So let me close this. Let me copy this function and paste here. Let's make this save and remove the code inside that and check this out if it is working or not. Go to the inspect console and it is working perfectly. Now we have to write code here. We need variable button and assign to this element. Now after that we need table and find the save and cancel button. Let me add the cancel and hide that buttons. When we click on save or cancel button, it will show the edit button. So let me create that siblings and show the edit button. After that we need params, because this time we will be sending data to the AJAX request, and we need ID for each row. So let's get the ID. Let's go to the index file and let me copy this code, and I'm gonna paste this code in the save button. Yep, here. Alright, now we have to add the data attribute, data ID, and close that into double quotes. So now we are good to go. Let me just check if we are getting the ID or not. Let's go to the inspect and you can see we are getting the ID. Alright, before going to adding more code, let me just check if we are good here or not. So let me add the console log and let's check for the ID, and we get the error. So let me fix that. Alright, we didn't add the $sign here. Now check again and we are good to go. Let me comment, and here we will be adding the each loop as the above function for the table data. So let me add siblings dot each, and inside that we will be calling a function, and here we will getting the attribute content editable, which is false. So when we submit the inline data, it will make the content editable false, and after that we are checking for the params if the params is not empty, same as the insertion function. So I'm gonna check that, and we will be assigning the ID and the text inside the row, just like that. So let me copy and let's paste here. The next thing, we have to add the AJAX code. So let me copy from here and let's paste here. And this time we will be concatenating the table row ID. So I'm gonna concatenate the ID with the params. So let's do that. Now we have concatenated the ID and we are sending the request to the function.php. Let me just remove this line and let's check this out in the browser. So let's go to the browser and let's add some data here, and when we submit, let me just refresh. When we submit, you can see we are sending the request to the function.php file, and we are sending the payload as well. So from the AJAX part we are done. Now we have to add the code in the function.php file. So I'm gonna write that code here. Instead of writing the whole function, I'm gonna use if statement, and with the sset function we will be checking for global variable, and if the id is set, then execute this code. I'm gonna write a query, and that will be update table name, and that is table product, and set the table columns. So I'm gonna write product name, and let's make this format a little bit, and let's assign the value, which is $product underscore name. Do same for the other fields. So I'm gonna copy paste all the columns and the values, and after that we need where table name, which is tbl underscore product, concatenate with the id, and assign that to the product id. Now let me fix this, and let's copy the below SQL query and paste here. Alright, so we are done for the PHP code. Now we have to save this, and let's test this out in a browser. Let me remove the extra rows, and let's edit this row, and let me add some data here, some here, and let's change the price. And when I submit, you can see we are sending the payload, and we didn't get any error in the response section, and if we refresh, the data is still there. That's mean it is stored in the database. Alright, we are done here. If you like our video, please consider to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so you won't miss any upcoming videos.